You know, in football, there are some names that are just completely linked with a single club. But what about a name that defines a club for 3 entire generations? Today, we're going to dive into a dynasty that was built on loyalty, leadership, and just legendary success. The Maldinis of AC Milan.
It's a great question, right? How does that even happen? Is it all about raw talent, just pure hard work, or is it something else? Something that's passed down, something in the blood. Let's try to figure that out by looking at this one family whose story, well, it's a pretty compelling answer. So let's just get right to the good stuff. Because in 2024, something happened that really cemented this family's place in football history forever. It's an achievement that's been, get this, 3 generations in the making.
We are talking about a legacy that started with a patriarch, was basically perfected by an icon that is now being carried on by the next generation. This isn't just a story about incredible players, it's the story of a true football family.
Okay, so here it is, the big moment. When Daniel Maldini made his debut for Italy in 2024, he completed a family hat trick that has never been seen before. Grandfather, father, and son all playing for their country at the highest level. That's a first in the entire history of the sport.
Right, so to really understand how we got to this point, we have to go back to the very beginning, to the man who laid the foundation for everything that was to come. Cesare Maldini wasn't just another player. He was a true leader. As the captain for both AC Milan and for Italy, he made the Maldini name into a symbol of respect and authority in Italian football. He was, quite literally, the foundation of this dynasty.
And that, of course, brings us to the man who took that foundation and built a skyscraper on top of it. The absolute icon at the center of this dynasty, Paolo Maldini.
25 seasons. Just let that sink in for a second. In this era of big money transfers, where players are constantly moving clubs, Paolo Maldini spent his entire incredible career with just one club, AC Milan. That kind of loyalty is practically ancient history these days.
902 appearances. That's a club record that, let's be honest, will probably never be broken. It tells you everything about his insane durability, his world-class consistency, and his unwavering commitment. He wasn't just a player for Milan. For a quarter of a century, he was Milan.
I mean, just look at this timeline. He starts out as a 16-year-old kid in 1985, and he's still playing at the absolute peak of the sport in 2009 at 41 years old. To put that into perspective, he faced Maradona in his prime and was still on the pitch to play against a young Lionel Messi. His career didn't just span years, it spanned entire footballing eras.
And with that kind of longevity, you'd expect success. But this is just ridiculous. Look at this trophy cabinet. 7 Serie A titles, and absolutely incredible 5 Champions League trophies. He won everything you could possibly win at the club level, over and over and over again.
And his influence wasn't just limited to his club. For years, he was the heart and soul of the Italian national team, serving as its captain and leading them all the way to a World Cup final in 1994. The man was the definition of a leader.
But what happens when one of the greatest careers of all time finally comes to an end? Well, for Paolo Maldini, it was just a beginning of a new chapter with the club he loved.
So, 2009, he hangs up his boots. You can just imagine the emotional farewell for a player who had given his entire adult life to the game and to his club. For most people, that's where the story would end.
But not for Maldini. No way. His bond with AC Milan was way too deep to just walk away. His expertise, his passion, they were needed somewhere else.
And just like he did on the field, he delivered. He comes back in an executive role and becomes the architect of a whole new era of success. As technical director, he's the guy who builds the team that brings the Serie A title back to Milan in 2022. He proved he could lead a club to glory from both the pitch and the front office. Incredible.
Which brings us right back to where we started, full circle, back to the family. Because while Paolo was busy building this new legacy as a director, the next generation was starting to build one of their own.
So Paolo has 2 sons, Christian and Daniel. And yep, both of them followed in their father's and their grandfather's footsteps. And like we said at the start, it was Daniel who, in 2024, officially made the Maldini dynasty a 3-generational international force.
And here's a little detail that I just love.
It shows you how deep this whole thing runs. Even the family dog is part of the legacy. His name is Lino, which is short for Paulino, a fun little nod to Paolo's own nickname. It's just a great warm touch behind the legendary name.
So all of that leaves us with one final big thought. 3 generations, all representing their country. Success as a player, a captain, and a director. When you put it all together, you really have to ask, is there a greater family dynasty in the entire history of sports? It's really something to think about.